Hi all. Right, I'm going to try and sneak this wee bit in before carrying on because I'd already recorded another bit. When I don't want to show you too much of the map because it's going to have some spoilers. Nothing major, I don't think, but these units all attacked on the unit and retreated it into Rochfort. Got dispersed. And I said there was no other attack determination, and the last thing I done was undisperse this unit, which was we were playing the 58th Corps, but I managed to miss this guy. This is the guy that we a lot of carry on, and we realised that he could come round and surround this unit in Marche. I didn't do an attack determination for him, so I put a wee comment, I believe, at the beginning of the video when I realised. So, kind of hoping there's not going to be an attack here. Not that there's been any other attacks since, so I could still go through with it if need be. So, you could be checking here or here. Well, this is going to be 4 against 3 with a +1, so 4 against 4. This would be the same, 4 against 3 with a +1, but also another +1 from the 4. So that would be 4 against 5. So it would be 4 against 3 here. So he's going to consider Marche. Now I need to know if there was any. Right, give me a second. Yeah, okay. So there's no. There wasn't a support card left. So it's straight up 1-to-1, isn't it? With no modifiers. Yeah, because this is an elite defender, not attacking the elite. So let me find a place to roll the dice. I suppose this might. I don't think there's anything to spoil. To be honest, there's not what happened. Okay, so 1-to-1 with no modifiers. Oh no, it's a 1. Is a 1 going to do it? I still don't think so, but there's only 1 hex attack, isn't it? Sorry, I've not got my page opened as usual. Cancel if only defender elite or only defender armor. Well, yeah, only defender is elite. The attacker is not elite. So yeah, I think, yeah, I needed a 0 there, didn't I? Oh. Right, so that was an impossible 1, wasn't it? Okay. Right, hopefully my plan was to attach that on at the beginning of the video, so hopefully I get to do that. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Right, I think the most important thing, although just looking at this and just another thing cropped up, I think maybe my most important thought is, I know it's only moving that 1 unit and Denon, just try to stop these lower units getting adjacent to the Muse by going 1, 2 breaking zone of control, 3, 4. Well, I was thinking 5 into there, which is nice, adjacent to the detachment. Okay, I could actually go 5 into here though, couldn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll tell you why. If I put it here, there's 2 units there, and I just thought, if it comes down to it, and they were to activate, then, and they hadn't done anything, one of them could infiltrate into that hex. So it was just that last minute thinking. So, but I could put the unit in there, that would stop that. If I put it there. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to move adjacent. Well, hold on though, Grant. Moving adjacent to the Muse is priority, is movement method number 2 or something, isn't it? Yeah. So, because I think I prefer the unit here. It feels more aggressive here than here, and it's adjacent to this detachment, meaning that when it activates, that's going to go away. But if they were units activated, yeah, they would want to move adjacent to the muse, but they couldn't. So infiltrate's the second last movement method. And hold on, it's not towards their army objective. Their army objective's in Dion. Okay. That's all we need to know. It needs to move one hex closer to its army objective. So they can't infiltrate, or one of them couldn't infiltrate. So that makes me feel better about moving into yeah, here. And saying that, of course, here's the other thing. I don't just maybe want them to reach the muse so I can get the British units moving. I bet some of you are thinking, well, yeah, let something get to the muse. I don't know, I think I've played the game up to this point to try and stop that from happening. I know it means that the units aren't going to get to move until, what, the 26th, isn't it? Oh, that's a long way away, isn't it? That is a long way away. The problem is, as the Germans are not bound by the same rules that you have, well, the rules within the Germans, so not only do you need to get adjacent to the muse, but you need to be able to trace supply at that time when you're checking within the supply phase, isn't it? They don't have to do that as long as they hit the muse and they've got a unit adjacent to the muse at the time we hit the supply phase. Then that's when it happens. There's no. Sorry, I'm saying supply phase. No, it's the reserve phase. So it's the first. It's the first step of the game. You know, once we go into the next day. And like I say, when you play as the Germans, you've actually got to be able to trace supply in that step. But obviously the AI get to cheat a little bit. So, and it's very near the end of the day now, so if I do let them get to the muse, they're more than likely, I'm not going to stop, I'm not going to remove that unit, or probably 2 units. It's unlikely I'm going to be able to remove the 2 of them. Yeah, with the cards I've got left, so that means that the OKW will get released. So I don't think I want that to happen. So, yeah, I'm going to move this unit. Now, there's also a risk in moving it, because that's leaving only 3 strength and, but, yeah, we're willing to accept that risk. The Fuhrer Brigade, the good thing about the Fuhrer Brigade can't come down to help this battle. You know, if it was 47 to activate again. Like I say, I'm not sure the cards, I don't go searching through the, generally anyway, the discard pile to see what's been played, but if they are to activate again, the Fuhrer Brigade can't, he's not got the movement to come out and in because he's having to break zone of control to come in again. So it would probably, more than likely, will only be the 2 wear units against that unit. So it's 5 against 3, and he's in a town. He's elite. You know, that's, and I've got combat tactics I could play. So, okay, so I'm going to activate the 30 core, British core, move this guy, 1-2 breaking zone of control, 3 down the road, 4 into here. Yeah, I think, and I mean, I could just leave him here, that's stopping them, but I think putting that wee bit of pressure on there, come in here, we're across the river. Yeah, if we want to go and have an attack at them, we're across the river as well, but we're adjacent to that detachment, which will get rid of that when if we activate again. And I think just that, I don't really know what to do with other British units anyway at the moment. I don't feel there's any threats elsewhere. I mean, remember, none of the rest of them can cross the Meuse, so I think I might as well just leaving them where they are. They'll build IPs, I suppose, but I know it maybe feels like a little bit of a waste, but well, we've tried our hardest to stop them getting adjacent to the Muse, so we might as well try and finish it off, and not let them grab the OKW units for the next day, you know. Okay, so move that guy there. Now they're in a town, so yeah, all the rest are going to build IPs. So maybe not that relevant, but might as well do it. Okay, so that's my activation over the 3 stacks. Build IPs as well. Right, just before German Impulse, I'll have to put a wee comment on the video, but looking back, as the big delay and then the issues that I was having in the last couple of sort of cuts that I'd made, and this problem about supply and whatever, it dragged on a bit, so I ended up with 2 hours of footage, which really I needed to put all together the way they were cut, so I've ended up, I'm going to cut it in 2 bits, because I figure like 2 hours is probably off-putting for some people. So I'll cut it into 2 bits. Unfortunately, the first bit's going to end right in the middle of a combat, but I'll put a wee note in the comments at the beginning of the video, but I'm sure you'll have seen that by now if you're watching this, because this will be the next bit. Okay, right, let's get a German Impulse in. Let's see what we got. I think 8 cards left, like I say. That's the... What was that? 50 core division card. Oh, that's the mechanised units, isn't it? Okay, so 2 division cards. No primaries. Both the command value 1. This is the lowest card, 60. This is a 64. Now, this is just infantry divisions, but the 3rd PG division have no fuel on the 22nd, so we're going to catch them as well, which is good, isn't it? Yeah, we're on the 22nd, aren't we? Yeah, they have no fuel on the 22nd. So I'm just looking there, I'm seeing one of them in the... they're both there. There's only 2 of them. Yeah, okay. This could be nice and straightforward then. We're just going to put a no fuel marker on them. You know what, I don't think I've got any of them left. You don't get that many of the no fuel markers, but... hang on a sec. Yeah, I don't have any more. I think there's a couple on the map, and there's a couple in the reserve unit, so whether you only get 4 of them or have misplaced any. These 2nd SS units, they're out of fuel as well, and it lasts all day, so I'll just put over the 2 of them, covering them both, and hopefully we'll not think that marker's moved there accidentally. So that happens, and then we discard this card. So that's good. Like I say, these are infantry, so we're going to try and activate them. Now, right off I see there's one of the 3F units in the reserve units box. There should be 2 more of them somewhere, and 3 of the 12 VG division units. So let's have a look for them. Okay, so I've got... I've got the 312 VG units, all full strength, 1 in here, 1 in here, and there's 1 in here, IP'd. And then the 3F units, 2 of them either side of this isolated unit, so there's a chance of a bit of a... And then, like I say, the 3rd one's in the reserve unit, so he could jump in as well. So we're going to activate both of them. There's no roadblocks. They're army objective marker is just on the edge of the camera there. It's in its third position anyway, so it needs to be reached. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's see if there's any movement. Okay, just looking through movement methods and trying to work some things out, and I'm looking at Verviers here and feeling like Allied supply is traceable to that. I know for a while we were blocking this hex off, and we know that all hexes east of this are fine. But this hex, did we not have a unit in here or a unit in here stopping this hex from being open? So it could be another slight blunder. I'll move something away from that. I mean, the thing with this is, I don't know I fully understand the worry here. Okay, I'm going to go on to you this time, guys. You never put me up for this one. Like I think I was just saying there, whether I understand the whole this hex being able to trace Allied supply off of this from this hex, I mean, a unit can't come and deploy here, you know, or can, well actually, yeah, because if it's going to be able to trace supply, maybe that is the point then. Maybe that's yeah, maybe that is the whole thing. Maybe that's what I'm forgetting about. The potential, in fact, even that 9th Division infantry unit, could he deploy there? No, he wouldn't be within 3. No, he wouldn't be within 2 of a German town though, as well. God, I know he's on the map edge hex, but he'd only be within 1. So I don't think anything can. That's what kind of baffles me about this a little bit. Is I mean, it could just be that the rules are set to say that, and you're not allowed to do it, and that could be that. But what is the reasoning behind that? You know, if I could deploy a unit in this road hex, but I don't think I can I? Yeah, I mean, well, the rules are maybe just set there as well, though. But I mean, there's a 5th Corps unit there, so 1, 2, 3. That hex would be within 3 of him. He would be able to trace supply. Unfortunately, he's only 1 away. He's on the map edge hex, so he needs to be 2 away. So he's satisfying the 2 away from all these German units. He's not quite satisfying the 2 away from the town. So I mean, I don't think any unit could deploy there, but shall we say, let's just consider Verviers was, you know, 2 hexes away, then that would be a deployable hex, I think, for that 5th Corps unit, and then be able to stroll into Verviers, you know, maybe on another impulse. So, okay, I suppose that's the reasoning behind it. Anyway, getting on to you guys for not realising it then, because I've had to go all the way back to the 22nd. Part 2 of the 22nd, and I think I'm just uploading part 5 just now, and I've got part 6, so this is going to be part 7, I think. So, and just to see when this hex lost its German zone of control, shall we say, and it was this unit here that crossed over. There was another 57 Corps unit in here. But he crossed to get closer to his army objective. You know, he just tried moving closer, but I didn't consider at all that he was holding this hex down from the supply. So that's the only thing I can see. I went back to there, like I say, that was the first moment when I decided to cross this unit across the river. So I'm going to put him back, because I think he needs to stay there to hold that, or Allied supply is traceable to Verviers. And that's, by the rules, that's what that says. That hex, any hexes that we've decided, any hexes to the east of Verviers, this one, and then going east. I mean, it says in the, let me take that card out of the way now, just to, it says in the loss of allied supply sources, if you control Yupun or Verviers, and the invalid supply hex is 0109, which I think I've gone over this before, which is actually Yupun. And yeah, I've talked about the fact, well, what happens to all these hexes though? Because that's Yupun there, and what happens to all these? And Martin came back saying that he believes that the intent is that anything to the east of Verviers, this hex, would not be. Because I think the only reason it says Yupun is because it's got roads going off. But there's nothing in the rules to say that these, although these haven't got roads going off, they're still meant to be, unless something's been missed in translation there, then the way I understand it is these hexes still count. But Martin's description of the fact that all the hexes are out makes sense. This hex, however, is not. So if I was to have moved that unit across that river, Verviers has ally supply traceable. So I know I'm going back quite a bit with that one, but I'm just going to put that guy back across there because I don't think he should have moved. Okay, so another mistake fixed, hopefully. I've just realised I didn't put any of my lights on there, so hopefully you could see they're kind of just backup lights, and it is daylight still, so hopefully it wasn't too bad. And it was just me ranting on about something anyway. Okay, so I think it was on infantry moves. So let me just go back and make sure we've got it all right. Okay, right on to 10 to 13 movement methods. Number 9 would be first. He can't move via arrow. He can't move at all. I mean, yes, he could move via his arrows because this unit's isolated, but he needs to keep this unit surrounded. So he's kind of stuck. There's no hex he can move to and keep this unit surrounded. And then 13, I believe, is next, and he's in the same situation. You know, he could start going via his arrows, but he's going to break the restriction. So both of them are going to stay put. They're already adjacent to an allied unit, clearly. So that's that. And then the 3 units from 12 VG, well, we've got 14, 15 and 16. 14 is here. He can't move via arrows. He can't get close to his army objective, I don't think. I'd very much doubt it. Yeah, he can't get near his army objective if it's there. And he can't infiltrate. Actually, but he needs to be stacked to another active unit, doesn't he? And he's already adjacent to an allied unit, so he's finished. 15 is maybe the only one. Well, actually, no, maybe 16 might do something as well. So arrows, are you kidding me? Is he going to go back up round there? Well, I don't know. It's been that long since I remember moving these units. I'm not awfully sure. Yeah, so, well, he would be able to make arrow movements 1, 2, 3, and also extend it another 1 into there. He couldn't get into here because that would be adjacent. So 1, 2, 3, and then extend it into there. Yeah. I guess that means there's now 2 units blocking this hex, so maybe the stronger unit underneath will be able to move, and I suppose there's something in that, but okay. And then 16, right, there's no arrows in that hex. Can he get close to his army objective? Now there's 5 steps in that hex, so he can't move in there. There's only 4 in that hex, but is that 1, 2, 3, 4 away? That's going to be 4 away as well. So, yeah, he's not able to get closer, is he? Because he can't go in this hex because it would be overstacked. And none of the units are going to move. Oh, okay, fair enough. But you can still move adjacent to an allied unit, I suppose. Yeah, because he's not going to be that. Okay. Yeah, so moving on. He can't infiltrate because, well, no, he's not needing to infiltrate anyway. But he wants to move adjacent to an allied unit, so I think he's going to move in with this guy here, which is adjacent to an allied unit. Obviously, if there was more than one, he'd want to be closer to his army objective, but we know he can't really do anything with that. So yeah, I think he's pretty much going to go in there. Okay, I think that's all the movement. Next consideration would be that step 4 again of the activations about placing eligible active reserve units on German detachment markers, because we do have an infantry in the reserves. I don't see any possible detachments that are going to be within the 6th Panzer Army, though, that an allied unit's proximate to. It's all their detachments are all the towns here, and there's no allied units proximate to them. There's none, there's none open that it's a bit more tied up there, so can't see anything going to do that. So check for attacks. Well, the isolated unit obviously is an option, right? So there's going to be 4 strength in there. It's not going to be able to attack there. Is it 4? Yeah, it's 2. There's 2 strength infantry units, and then that's halved across the river. So it's only 2 against 3. It'd be 2 against 4. So that doesn't work. Sorry, I know I'm not looking at them in numerical order, to be honest, but I mean, this one's back here, so it was just to get these 3 out of the way. But we should have been looking at these guys first, because Unit 9 would be first to look at. So this is going to happen. So as all the units in the consideration are isolated, the attack's going to go ahead. So we don't even need to mess about with that. Let's write it up. Successful strength. If all defending units of the attack are isolated, immediately conduct the attack. So the attack is going to be conducted by Unit 9 and Unit 13 of the 3rd FG Division. This guy obviously is not involved. We don't have a support card. We do have a reserve unit though. So he's gonna well, actually we need to draw a combat tactic first, don't we? Right, let's get organised here. Okay, I'm struggling to find space to put things. Okay, on an attack with A2 units, the reserve comes in later, but we're going to draw a combat tactic. Ooh, right, we've got the first SS to come then. So that's going to shuffle in again. Okay. And it's artillery, so that's okay for them. So they play that for artillery. There's no support card, like we said. Add the reserves. So he's going to come in. That's this guy here. He's going to come in. Unit's already surrounded, so he's wanting not across the river and an empty hex that you can trace reserve supply. So, well, actually, there's Malmedy, because that'll be closer to his army objective, won't it? Yeah, probably going to go in Malmedy then. That's not across the river, is it? No, the river kind of stops there. So, yeah, closest to the reserve unit's army objective, and the fact these don't exert a zone of control, Well, it doesn't matter anyway. You can trace reserve supply going up over that bridge, but you can trace it this way. Oops, you can trace it this way as well. So, and that hex is going to be closer to his army objective. That's the empty hex. So that's where he's going to go. So I'll take that detachment away, and we'll have him join in the attack from Malmedy. Okay, so now we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 against 3. 7 against 3, so 2-1 odds. Chip pools are 3 units, 1 combat tactic as 4. That's that. Now we can't play a card because he's isolated, so no supply to that unit. So I think it's just a case of getting the 4 chits now. And he's got artillery in the battle. Yeah. Okay, yeah, stop. I knew I was missing something. I'm not considering an isolated unit, am I? So what happens there again? They get extra chip pools to start with, don't they? It's mechanised so it can't retreat. Yeah, it's any kind of hit on it, I think it's going. If defender, the attacker may draw 2 extra combat chits and disregard all attacker hits. So that actually goes up to a 6. I feel I was missing something there. Right, so we'll get the 6 chits and see what's what. I thought I'd pulled it back out of the bag there. I was started with this one, and then got a city. Well, I think these 2 came next, to be honest. The defender's not green or elite, unfortunately. That's the front side is greater than 71 or something. Back side 71, 41. But it isn't a forest, so I was like, got that, and then artillery, which they played, and then another 1.5 to 1. So yeah, that'll probably finish the guy. And not only that, I was hoping that might, because there's 2 A hits there, but oh no, they disregard all the A hits anyway, don't they? I'm forgetting. He's isolated, yeah. I was thinking at least they might get a hit on him because, yeah, no, not to be. So he can't retreat. He's taken D2. He's only 1 step. That's right, and that he's mechanised, so he can't retreat at all. Just double check. Where are we? Mechanised may not move or retreat, so he's got to take his hit as a step was. He's surrounded anyway. Yeah, it was only a matter of time, really. I know I had that air power to try and maybe bring one of these unsupplied units back to life, but they're all surrounded anyway. They're not. I feel like it'd be a waste, but then again, I'm going to have to do something about it before the end of the day. So, okay. So, yeah, I think we figured that was going to happen. So let me clear things up and see if there's going to be an advance. Maybe this infantry unit coming into the forest, possibly. Oh, and well, I do remember, I'm going to go and shuffle this in just now. Yeah, so this is secondary route, so this unit will advance into here. I don't see there being any issues. Everyone's locked up over here. So he advances into here. Unit 12 would be next. He come in by reserve. I did wonder if he may, but it just says reinforced battle and it's all coordination. They can't advance. Well, that is another route anyway. So he's not going to, and then that's going to be another route as well. So just that infantry unit moving into there, like I say. Oh, and that's 2 more units in the eliminated units box, unfortunately. So it's another victory point. Now they were on 36 because we took Dinan back, so that's them on 37. So not major, is it? What are we trying to avoid? Yeah, we're pretty safe, I think. They would need greater than 50. but we would need less than 15 for a win, so we're not at that side of it either. So yeah, it's going to drag on. But I've not heard any more news. I've been watching the Compass Games videos, the update of things every. I don't know if they do it every week or not, but I've started to see. I've seen there was one last week and there was one this week, and I got kind of excited because at one point they said there's a game, Battles of Kharkov or something like that. It's something similar named, and when he talked about it, it looked like it was Enemy Action Kharkov, and I thought he had made a mistake regarding that, but I just watched the recent one, and I think it is that Battles of Kharkov that's, I think that was the end of September or something, so it looks like it might be, whether we'll see it this year or not, maybe a Christmas present. Okay, so I think that's not true, Grant. Somebody didn't move, did they? The unit under, oops, it's alright. This guy moved into here, but his buddy underneath didn't do anything. Oh, can he? Well, he can go back to reserves then, can't he? I think. 9.6. Unit did not move or attack. It's not placed from reserves. That's right. Unit is adjacent to an allied unit. Yes. You can trace reserve supply. He can. And the removal would leave at least 2 steps in the hex. Yeah. So he's not. I thought maybe build an IP there, but no. Right. Okay. He's the guy that's come back. He's not flipped, so I'm just gonna spin him round again, and I'll just straighten him up because that's going to be that. And this guy will bounce back to reserve, so just basically taking the place of an infantry unit that was already there. Okay, so I think that's all that, and obviously there's no support card because they had the fuel issues. Okay, I'll take a wee cut for now, guys, and I'll get back with an Allied Impulse sometime soon. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Right, next Allied Impulse. I'm really tempted to do this actually. Bringing this unit down, probably down to here to enable these infantry units to trace supply, because we're getting very near the end of the turn now. And I take it to see them that start going to low supply. And especially when they're all poised to make an attack on this infantry unit, and then there's a gap opening up to do some things, push east a bit, but we do need to watch our supply. So yeah, and then I had a little bit of a crazy thought, thinking that why not use my air power to bring this guy? No, it wasn't that guy. Okay, I've got that muddled up actually. I did think he was an 8-core unit, and he's not. It's this one, innit? And he's reduced. Yeah. I think it was more if I could have brought him out of supply and then activated. I thought I was an 8-core guy, to be honest. Then activated 8-core, and then maybe he would have had to make an attack against something, so he's going to get very few chip pools. Well, attacking that would give him 1-to-1 odds, and he would actually get 3 chip pools because it's the number of steps in defender, isn't it? I think you always get that. That was something that I never realised at first when I started playing the game. The minimum amount of chip pools, although he'd only be drawing 1 chip pool for being the 1 unit, you'd actually draw 3 chip pools because you're attacking a 3-step unit. Pretty sure that's right anyway. But however, this is 12-core, Grant, so you've made a muddle there. And it doesn't seem worthwhile trying that with that, because that's a reduced 1-step unit with 2 strength. And the unit underneath it's from 12-core. It's not really worthy, I don't think. This does seem a shame. This guy in here, he's a shame. He's a full strength armoured unit that's just going to sit there and get strangled, but no, I can't do everything. Think about the main force and trying to push back, and that's not the main force. They just got left behind. Whether that was my bad or not, probably. Okay, so right, going to activate 8 core. So straight off, I'm going to bring this unit. Yeah, I'm going to do what I said with this unit. There's risks with this unit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it is only 2 strength, 1 step unit. If these units activate, like I've said, with both of them activated, we're going to have 5 to 1 odds round about them, and so you know, that's not great. But where he sits just now, these infantry units can trace down this road through the armoured unit and then supply. So, and that is as far as we can get. I think that's probably the hex we'd want to go anyway, even if we could stretch to there. But we can't. We can only get to there, and we can't extend it. We can't strategic move. No, we can't. So I think I'll do that. And then, I mean, I was looking at other units, but I don't think I want to move them. So it looks like a card just being used to move 1 unit again. And then here's the other guys up here. I think that's 5th Corps under there, isn't it? Yeah. So there's this guy, the guy in Dino. Now we can't move him out. We've already moved the British unit out. But this guy here, which is holding the line towards Namur, and this guy here, which is actually, he's not really holding any line there. He could move out of there, I suppose. But I mean, where would I put him? I don't think so. And I think that's the only one. So the other one's reduced and low supply. Yeah, and that's all we've got left of the 8 Corps. There are a big bunch of them come back in on the 27th. We get a 11th Armoured Division, the 17th Airborne Division. But that's a ways yet. And I'd be hoping to have a victory by then if I can. Okay, let me have one last wee thing in case I've thought of anything clever. Nah, I don't think I do want to move either of the 3. They are kind of like holding the line. I think if I got the chance to activate 18 Corps again, I would maybe move 2 or 3 of them about. Hopefully sort of trapping these 47th in. Well, we know we've got, that's a thought, but then yeah, it's not really, we know we've got the Lair unit here, and the 2 Lair units, Fuhrer Brigade, and the 2 2nd Panzer units not able to trace supply at the minute, so hopefully we can hold on to that bit. But the 8 Corps units aren't really enabling any more of that nonsense. So I'm going to leave them where they are. He'll build an IP, the other guy's in Dino, the other guy's got an IP, so yeah, another kind of quick impulse, but I think we've still our concerns of the 47th, I think, you know, if we can start surrounding them in. Like I say, I can't really move the 18 Corps again this turn, so right, okay, that's it. Okay, I've got very little time at the minute, I'm just about to head out, so, but I feel like I want to look at the next 2 cars for the German Impulse, so let's go. So 2nd SS and 2nd SS. Right, so the primary and the supplemental, that'll go in the command car box, this will go elsewhere, and the support car box. Right, no event, and the support card, it's reinforced battle. Now, also if we can do this on camera, actually, there's 2 2nd SS off the 2nd SS that are okay in the reserve units box. and the other 2 units are from the 9th SS. I think there's 2 of them, but they're out of fuel, so they're not going to be able to do anything. I think they just can't do anything at all, actually. Yeah, they may not move, retreat, advance, or attack, and they also can't be placed on the map from reserves. So I think the only thing they might still be able to do is build an IP. I've got the feeling that the one that we've got has already maybe got an IP though. No, maybe not. The one that's on the map. Okay, so right. Well, let's have a look. Yeah, well, we've only got 2 units 3 units on the map. This is the 2nd SS unit with an IP. This is a sort of unit on his own, 519 unit. He's got an IP as well. Now, the other 9th SS unit is under that, out of fuel. So, I'll double check that, but it looks like I think he'll be able to build an IP in the hex. That's all he'll be able to do, though. So it's really just these 2 units, if they're going to do anything, and the possibility of bringing the other 2 from the reserves of the 2nd SS. So well, no roadblocks adjacent. The army objective marker is needing to be reached before it'll move again. So that's that. So let's look, see if any of these 2 units will make a move then. I don't think either of them are going to move. There's nothing I can see. Right shooting movement methods, 10 to 13. Obviously no arrow moves. This one is also, he's adjacent to the 5 strength in Ufe, which is a victory point hex, so he's not going to move. Oh dear. Yeah, so he's not going to move away from Ufe, and he can't get to another adjacent hex. That's empty anyway, so yeah, so there's no movement at all, and they're both adjacent to allied units. So yeah, that's that. So, well, we've already just recently looked about the step 4 and that unit activations about placing eligible active reserves on German detachments, and we didn't find any in there. So I think this is going to be the same case. Sorry about the dog barking. I'm going to pause it for a bit. Yeah, it's the same situation. There's no detachments that would be considered within the German 6th Panzer Army that an allied unit is proximate to. So that's not going to happen. Yeah, I mean, this whole 1st SS, 2nd SS has just got stuck up here. There's just I mean, I suppose there's some of them got left behind here, and they'll be able to start moving now because they were around that isolated unit. So hopefully they can start coming along now. But yeah, it's been a bit messy for them, which isn't a bad thing for us because they've just not done an awful lot. But okay, so well, we'll just move on to check for attacks. But I mean, both these considerations. This is 2 against. Is that 8? Doubled to 16. Sorry, I'm saying 2 against. Unit selector 2. So 5 against 8, but he's in a city, so 5 against 16. Yes, I can consider the 2 reserves. So I would bring along another 8 strength, but that's 13 against 16, and in fact it's going to be 17. So that's not going to be an option. And this one's coming across the river, so this would be 2, but again we can consider the reserves, which I said is 8, so that'd be 10. So that is 5 against 5. However, they're also adjacent to an allied supplied unit, so it's 5 against 6. And we couldn't deploy one of them into there because he's not able to trace reserve supply. If there'd been a road here connecting, then yeah. Yeah, they couldn't go there either because they wouldn't be able to trace reserve supply. So yeah, the only hex, well, the only choice of hexes would be this one or this one, and that's across the river, so half in the 8 that they're bringing. Yeah, obviously it's not helped with the other 2 units being out of fuel and not being able to do anything, so yeah, to me it looks like they're not going to be doing a very lot at all. Okay, I guess my only thought would be that I'd said about this unit being out of fuel, the 9th SS unit underneath that 67 Corps Infantry Corps unit would build an IP, but I'm just looking, I don't think, but I can't see anything. They can't come from reserves to the map, but there's nothing to say the unit can't be taken from the map back to reserves that I can see anyway. You know, under the rules for the fuel, sorry, move my page again. Effects of no fuel. A unit with an out of fuel marker suffers the following effects. A unit may not move, retreat, or advance after combat. The unit may not attack. If the unit is attacked, the enemy attackers may disregard 1 attack or hit. If the unit is in the reserve units box, if the unit is in the reserve units box, it may not be placed on the map. So it seems a little strange to be able to put it back to reserves, but I don't see anything saying that you can. And then the rules for putting the reserve 9.6, isn't it? A unit is eligible for all the following. Unit did not move or attack. Unit was not placed on the map from reserves. Unit is adjacent to an allied unit. Unit can trace reserve supply. The removal of the unit would leave at least 2 steps in the hex. So, well, that seems like maybe one that's, I don't know, I guess, I wonder what you think, guys. It looks like that unit would be able to bounce back to the reserves, keeping its out of fuel marker, but something feels a bit odd about that one. So I'll leave it there, and what I'll do is put this, I'll put this little yellow cube on top of that, just as a sort of reminder to make me think about what's happened there. And maybe if I get this video uploaded, if any of you want to give me your thoughts on that, I can then change it about. Obviously if things change and I've got to make a decision, then, well, I'll need to do that when I come here. Okay, so I think that's going to be that for the command card. Now the support card is going to try and assign replacement points, so actually I may be able to get this finished. I didn't think I would have time, but so my guessing is that, so this guy will either have an IP marker on him, or that red unit will be there his own and the other unit will be back in the reserves. So we'll hopefully understand what we're getting up to here. So yeah, this is going to replace 1 point. Again, out of fuel, does that, can it still take replacements? There was no talk of that either, I don't think. Okay, well there's a double question for you then. Can out of fuel units take replacements? I would think that one's probably a yes. I'd be okay about that. Fortunately, this guy's fully is full strength, so that's not an issue. There is, however, right, both the out of fuel units and the reserve units box are full strength, but we do have this elite unit, and he's the only one that's reduced in the reserve units box, so I'm going to repair him in the reserves. That brings something to my mind. Oh yeah, Kharkov. You can't do that in Kharkov. Don't think you can repair units in the reserve units box. However, when a unit's eliminated, whether there's two different boxes, there's two different states, eliminated units and, oh god, what was the other one? Destroyed units. A destroyed unit is out of the game forever. I think it's that way around. An eliminated unit can actually return. You can repair it to bring it back as a one, on its reduced side. Yeah, it's something like that. But I don't think you can repair units in the reserves. Right, well that's all that would happen there. So that is German Impulse all over. So I've kind of squeezed that into a time that I'll need to dash off now though. So that was quite quick. So a couple of questions there though. If you want to give your answers on a postcard, well, no, just leave it in the comments. Can that unit have bounced back to reserves, and would, if that unit was reduced, I'm talking about the out of fuel unit, would it be eligible for repair? Would it be able to take a replacement point? Okay, right, okay, I'm going to run out now, guys. Might get back tonight for a wee while, that is kind of unlikely, so it might be another 2-3 days gap, to be honest. I'm tied up again. I've got some time coming up though, I've got some holidays coming up, and I don't think I'm going to be going far, so hopefully we'll get rattled into this and maybe get somewhere. Okay, I'll be back at some point, guys. Okay, cheers.